I knew something was wrong when I saw her coming out of that courtroom. She had just gone before a judge to ask for a restraining order against her husband. For the past year, this woman, distant relative that I hardly knew, was coming to our home to escape what was going on in hers. Being newly married myself, I was horrified hearing about the violence that she was experiencing at the hands of her own husband. Please don't go back. He is going to kill you. But she kept going back because if she didn't go back, where would she live? How would she support herself? And what would happen to her daughter, who was just 2 years old? So that day in that courtroom, I knew how high the stakes were. And I tried to keep the worry off my face when I saw her walking towards me, tears streaming down her face, and her lawyer walking beside her looking really angry. We slipped into a conference room, and then her lawyer finally spoke. What was that in there? You can't just sit there and cry. You have to say something. I know. I was just really scared. He was looking at me, and I couldn't speak. Well, then that's what you need to say. You say, Your Honor, my husband is looking at me right now, and I'm terrified because that's the look he gave me before he pushed me down the stairs. You got to speak up. How rude, I wanted to say to her, although I kept silent at the time. What I wanted to say was, how could you be so unfeeling? I mean, hasn't she gone through enough? But what I didn't appreciate at the time was that's exactly what she needed to say to get her client to go back into that courtroom, tell the judge what was happening to her, get that restraining order, and get her husband out of her home for good. And her husband did move out. He moved out of the country. So while speaking up solved a very big problem for her, she now had other problems. She was now a single mom with a mortgage that she could not pay because she could not legally work or even live in this country. How many times have we struggled with that difficult decision of, do I say something or do I just let it go? And our minds are so good at coming up with all the reasons why we shouldn't speak up. What will they think of me? What will they say about me? I could lose my job. But we don't actually know what's going to happen. How could I have known that this woman I barely knew would become one of my closest friends? How could she have known how wonderfully her life was going to end up? Or that today, after almost 20 years, she would be celebrating her daughter graduating from college. If you knew that by speaking up, you could change your life or the life of someone you know for the better, would that help make your decision a little easier? Imagine if that lawyer that day just said, it's okay, you did your best. Imagine if I had never shown up to that courtroom to corroborate her story. Imagine if she said nothing at all and stayed silent about what was happening to her. And imagine the life of her daughter, that little 2-year-old girl. What would her life have been like if no one had spoken up? I do not like thinking about that. And if you didn't either, then I hope that the next time you have the opportunity to speak up or to stay silent, I hope you choose to speak up.